Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is August 28th, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the Russell 2000, that's IWM, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right. Let's jump over to these charts and see what we see. Let's maximize this quarterly chart, resize it and all, and see what we see. We see red. The Russell is red. This is kind of like, what's going on here? The big boat is slowing down. The big boat is actually turning around and all. So be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful and all. We are still above our yearly R1, so not too much of a concern, but we are red at this time. This is a bearish Harami at this time, because this little candle is probably on the inside, on the inside of this big red green candle, but at the top part. So again, don't get, based on your trading plan, your trading strategy, trade accordingly. That's all I can really say. All right, let's go ahead and go down to our monthly chart and see what we see there. On this monthly chart, I'm going to zoom in here. What we see here, we are above the 9-10 moving average, so technically we are bullish. I also like seeing us above pivot at this time, meaning we are bullish. But what we see up top, this month we made all-time highs, and since we made all-time highs, this market has pushed down quite a bit. We got quite a bit of a wick on there. And with this red candle, green candle, we have a bearish Harami in the right location, and we got a wick on there. So again, all I can say is be careful, be careful, be careful. This thing looks like it might be trying to turn around. Something maybe is happening out there, and these guys are getting out of these positions and getting ready to slam this thing down. Be careful, be careful, be careful. That's all I can say. But let's go ahead and go down to our weekly picture and see what we see there. Let's zoom on in here like this, and this is where it's really showing it all. What we have here, first of all, last week we had this bearish piercing pattern. We have gotten confirmation of that pattern at this time. Wow, we're below, the whole breakout level. We're below the 50% point of this demand candle. So the only thing, based on your trading plan, your trading strategy, you might be still above. The way I look at it, I'm still above pivot, and also again, it might be okay. But I've gotten confirmation of a bearish pattern to the downside. I need to, based on my trading plan and my trading strategy, I need to be exiting my positions, getting short, or doing something on that bear side at this time. Based on probably the intraday pattern, intraday noise that we'll go look at, we'll see that if that gave us a signal there. So that's what I see there. This can be the start of a shorter downtrend like we had before. The question is, will it break these lows? Come next month, look like we probably will be trading below. Let me clear this up a little bit. Come next month, look like we will probably be opening up somewhere below pivot. And will we come down here to a support 1 level? And will this demand candle back here, this demand level where this market started getting all these wicks and came up out of here, will this act as support in this market? We're going to have to kind of like just wait and see what actually happens there. If we end up going lower and we don't get a reversal candle at the end of the month and the first of next month. So be careful. Just keep your eye out and see what's actually happening here at this time. All right, let's go ahead and go down to our daily noise and wrap this on up. And on this daily picture, we can see today we had a pretty strong sell-off. You can see the Russell didn't behave like I normally would see the market behave after expiration. After expiration, yes, that first day you might get a little bit of a sell-off, and then in a good, strong, uptrending market, this market usually ends up going higher. But as you can see here on the Russell, let's zoom in here a little bit more and all. Let me zoom in here and all, where you can get some big candles and see what's going on. After expiration, this first candle is almost kind of like expected. And then as you can see here on this next candle, we did try, the market did open higher, went lower, and tried to push back up. But the next few days here, this market didn't go anywhere. This market stayed right here. Then come today, this market ended up opening a little bit lower. This red candle, it opened here and it went a little bit higher, but it stayed below pivot, stay below pivot. So this was kind of like one of those weeks where you kind of like, oh, this may not be a week for me. Plus bullish traders, and that's what ended up happening. The market didn't go anywhere. There's other strategies that you have to play during times like that, to continue making that money, But that's what I see here. And come next week, based on what we see now, this thing might want to go lower. Because next week, this is our pivot. We might end up, since we're way down here, we might end up opening up below that, and this market may end up going lower. What I'm looking at as a target, let me go ahead and zoom. We can see the market might find support down here at our support 1 level, and then we also would need to actually zoom out a little bit. Let me see if I can do that right quick, since I'm looking at this like this. Oh wow! So it's let me just zoom like this here, where you can really see what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at here, we came down here and we filled this gap. So that might be enough where we at right now, and we might get we still might slip a little bit more and get a bounce, because again, we're going to be in this whole area right here where this market found some demand and jumped out of there. It kind of came back down and went back up, but now we've come back down. And some people will say, now that I'm drawing this, I can see almost a reverse type head and shoulders type thing. And then if that happens, we can look at this market. I'm looking at, say, 305, say a little bit like 300. You can look at it $5 lower. You can see this market. This market can actually, it's still, again, even if it went $5 lower, it's almost there anyway. So come next week, I can easily see the market coming down to a support 1, which it also will line it up being in this whole demand area, and then getting our reversal then. So again, be careful about playing this thing to the downside and staying too long. Still, again, based on your trading plan and your trading strategy, trade accordingly. But I can see it coming down to maybe a support 1 and then turning around like right away. We just got to, again, pay attention to your trading plan and your trading strategy and trade accordingly. This might have been it. We kind of like closed the gap, and we might be getting close to our resistance. As you can see, these pivots are pretty close. So coming down to a support 2 wouldn't be out of the picture. A support 3 is still not quite out of the picture if it goes down, because we're a little bit below a 298, around where we at? I don't say a little bit. We're around a 290, look like 295 something, maybe 295, and dropping another $5 down to 290 is not out of the picture for the Russell. And also it can drop a whole lot more than based on what I'm seeing on my pivots, be down here in this area here, and then hope then you maybe expect some demand to jump into this thing, and then this thing shoot back up. If it wants to continue to drop, it can drop a whole lot more than what I'm seeing here with these pivots and all. But again, let's just see what happens and all. We might get a bounce like right away. This whole demand area might give us the support that we need, and this thing shoots right out of here once we get down here in this area, just a few dollars lower than where we at, just $1 or 2 lower than where we at already. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I see at this time. I hope this is being helpful for some. I hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. This is Right Side Trader. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.